But like I said, the biggest thing was like, it's just hard to get loans too, when you're self-employed. It's like you got to make X amount of dollars for X amount of years, and it's a mess. So I just thought, you really are providing a way to make it so that people's dreams can come true. The property you do find is a very reasonable rate in good areas, and
hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of Land Stories Live. Every so often, we love to bring on folks who have purchased property from us, and I am honored to have with me Ammon Oakley. Ammon, welcome, man.
Thank you.
Well, glad you're here. You had gone through this process and bought a property with us in Mojave County, Arizona. We'll talk about that, but first, I'd just love to hear about you. Tell us about your background. You're telling me a little bit before the chat. Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Moroni, Utah, a little town in Sanpete County, a little turkey town. Get a lot of Norbest turkeys out of there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I grew up there, in a small town. Everybody pretty much had property, land, farms, whatever. My dad didn't have a ton. We had 5 acres. And I thought, that's about just right. I like 5 acres. So I always kind of wanted 5 acres,
Well, I would say, like 5 acres is like getting close to 5 football fields. That's a good deal of land right there. Not enough to like do a ton of farming, but that's a good deal of land to go running around.
Yeah, it's enough to have a few animals or a little play area, some area to, build shop and a house and whatever. But yeah, I like to have a little room between neighbors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And was it, were you guys like big into camping? Like, did you have a little kind of hobby farm there growing up, or what was it like?
Yeah, I guess kind of. My dad had all kinds of different animals we'd get, but he was really big into horse 4-H. He taught that for 20 years, had all kinds of horses. And so, we had to haul hay and all that too. But we were pretty big into, my dad had projects, old cars and stuff we'd always fix up. So yeah, it was just kind of a place for him to put his stuff and have a few animals and a few chores for the kids to learn and grow. Of course, I growing up had lots of other jobs working for people and on their farms, and I grew up in a kind of a poorer family, and we kind of had to pull together to make ends meet. So I went to work when I was a kid and bought all my own stuff from about the time I was in 3rd grade, and just had to pretty much, in a way, support myself for most of my life. But obviously my parents helped a lot too, but like I said, we all kind of had to chip in. So,
well, what a great way, I think, to teach your kids work ethic, right? Just working hard and keeping you out of trouble, I'm sure too, right? Doing all the stuff that they had you doing.
Yeah.
Was your dad much of a builder? Did he like build the house or like build barn or build stuff? Was that something with him?
He does a little bit here and there, but mostly it is an old farmhouse, an old dairy farm that when we purchased it, and we just kind of kept it a little bit of that, but just kind of converted it over into our use for stuff, and the old milk barn turned into a little shop. And so yeah, we kind of built things and just handyman type stuff. We just fix anything and everything, and my dad was always out serving people and doing stuff for them. So, but yeah, it was, just kind of grew up learning jack of all trades from my dad. So,
what'd you guys do for fun? What was like something fun when you weren't working and tinkering in the shop and building stuff?
Well, we'd go up hiking in the mountains or go have a campfire or something. And during winters, we like to go snowboarding or something like that.
Nice. So definitely
4-wheelers, a lot of that stuff, 4-wheeler riding, motorbikes.
So getting into nature, is a big thing. It sounds like
Oh
for the
yeah,
family.
yeah,
Get in the mountains, go hiking, go snowboarding, all that kind of stuff. Um,
yeah.
so what are you doing like for a job now? What kind of thing are you doing?
So right now I am self-employed. I have my own business. I just handyman. I went to school for welding, so of course I offer that, and then I just do everything else. I kind of was doing a lot of yard work stuff, but the area I'm in now is such a small area, and there's absolutely no handyman out here, and so it's just a big thing, and I always so swamped I can't keep up. But
Yeah.
so that's kind of what I do, just a little of everything, working for myself now.
Well, I
So
hear, a lot of there's such a need, for people that have gone through trades, and learning whether it's plumbing or, handyman type stuff or welding, that it works out really well. I mean, I think a lot of these rural areas where we buy and sell land and stuff, a huge need for that kind of
yeah,
service.
for sure. So, but yeah, that's what I'm doing, and I stay pretty busy, but my body's getting a little wore out, so I'm in the process of starting a kids show channel on YouTube and trying to get that up and going so it can hopefully be something I can fall back on for income later.
I love it.
So,
That's fun. So
yeah.
so now being in the working world, obviously you grew up among acreage. Tell us about kind of what brought us together. What caused you to look into land?
So, like I said, I've always kind of wanted 5 acres, and I, I always just see property, for sale, whatever. Around here, the way things are going with the economy, it just kept going up and up and up and up, and then I kept seeing this property come up on Facebook. People were selling down in that area for the price, and I thought, gee, that's a dang good deal, and so I thought I'd look into it, and yeah, it was just. I got to be honest, though. I mean, at first I was a little skeptical seeing something like that online, but like I just want to tell everybody watching this video, it's a legit thing, and some of the things that got over my skepticism was just looking at their website and doing a little research and reading up the process and what they did, and looking at videos like this one of other people's stories, and really actually realizing that David was an actual family man who was out there trying to make a living too, and just a good guy helping people achieve their dreams. And I thought, geez, that could help me. And I mean, being self-employed, it's hard to get any kind of a loan for anything, and so I thought that's a dang good way, because they don't have to worry about income, credit check, whatever. It's just cut and clear the way they do it. You pay, you're fine. You don't pay, they take the land. Simple as that.
Well,
It's just like a bank and an automobile. You don't pay on your payment, they repossess it. So I figure those are terms I can live with.
absolutely. And I always tell folks, hey, if something comes up, we're not a bank, we can work with you. If something comes up, just let me know, and certainly we have certain limits of what we can do, but I'm just like you, right? I'm not some cold-hearted institution. So
Yeah. Yeah, and
anyone can
that
let me
and
know what's
that
going
was
on.
the other thing I really liked is you talked on there about how you're willing to work with us as long as we keep you informed what's going on, and up to a point you can work with us, and I really like that. And you understand you're a person, you're not just some person working for a big corporation bank or whatever. I think that's neat. But like I said, the biggest thing was like it's just hard to get loans too, when you're self-employed. It's like you got to make X amount of dollars for X amount of years, and it's a mess. So I just thought, you really are providing a way to make it so that people's dreams can come true. The property you do find is a very reasonable rate in good areas, and I mean, out here, for instance, just 1 acre is going for $100,000 plus.
1 acre.
So yeah,
Man.
and that's and that's why I'm saying it. It's like I got to that point. I almost didn't know if I could ever have property with the way everything was looking. And so I saw that down there and I thought, shoot, I'll look into that. And I'm sure glad I did.
Yeah. Well, so glad we can help. I'll tell you, me being a business owner too, I went to the bank to say, hey, could I get a loan on XYZ? And, I started sending them documents and then they're like, nope, we need this and we need that. I mean, it was so painful. And then at the end of the day, they said, sorry, you have to put down a way larger down payment. It was going to be like a 30% down with being a business owner. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, so
Yeah.
I've felt that pain, it sucks. It's not a lot of fun. So I'm glad to be able to help out on whatever scale we can. Obviously we hear your family around, being a family guy.
Yeah.
What are you hoping
Sorry about that.
no, it's all good. What are you hoping to do with your family, on the land? Are you hoping to build on it? Are you hoping just to go out and use it recreationally? What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, ideally, the location of it's got a lot of recreational type area. And I don't know if you're familiar with much with the economy in Utah, but there's tons and tons of people moving out here from California and other areas. And it's just driving the price of stuff up like crazy.
Yeah.
And this little towns where I live, especially because these people from California that toured out here for tourists, they love some of these areas with tourism attractions. And I saw that property and thought, shoot, it's close to Lake Mojave, it's close to Lake Havasu, it's close to Las Vegas, it's pretty central to all that, and it's a great location. It's probably going to explode. And when I went down and looked at the property, I saw California drivers out buzzing around everywhere. So I thought, well, if anything, it's a good investment. If I can't ever do anything with the property, I could at least sell it down the road and make money on it. But ideally, it's just something to start working towards building up the future, to have something in my life. I did like the idea it was off grid, because the way this government's going, I'm not too sure about some stuff, and you just see some of these big old power outages and things like that. And I'm just like, I'd prefer to have a house that's off the grid. And I've always wanted that since I was a kid. And so I thought, shoot, that's a good property, perfect area, and a little out away from things, but close to things at the same time. And so I thought it's a good investment no matter what. So hopefully someday maybe I can put a house down there or a shop or something, a place to tinker with stuff. I don't know. But we did want to have it kind of for recreational use as well. Maybe eventually before a house or something, put a camp trailer hook up or something down there. We can go stay in for a little bit and go play. I've got my father and mother-in-law have a house in Mesquite that they go down to in the winters. So it's not too awfully far. And so, we can kind of have between the two places of traveling and stuff, and just some little spots to stay and play a little bit.
I love it. I love it. I was in Boy Scouts growing up. So I'm an Eagle Scout, and I grew up in California. And so we would go all over the place. We went to the Grand Canyon, down to Havasupai, which is beautiful, which, you can get in there right through Mojave County and probably be hour and a half drive. And we went hiking down there, by the Colorado River, and it was just gorgeous. I think it was around April, March, April. So nice, perfect weather to go out there. We also went down the Colorado River into Lake Mojave on a canoeing trip one time. It was like a 50-mile canoeing trip all the way down in Lake Havasu. So kind of going the opposite route, from the Grand Canyon, head straight down south. And that was a blast. If you can ever do that with your kids, like that was such a cool trip, just camping on the side and ending up in civilization, so you end up in a city, so you can go and hang out there for a couple days and hang out in the lake. It was so fun. So yeah. I definitely recommend that out there. And of course there's hiking all over the place, up in the mountains out there. So,
oh yeah.
And remind me, Ammon, how did you originally find us? Was it on Facebook? Was it on like lands.com, or where did you find us?
So yeah, it was on Facebook, and you get about 10 dozen other people trying to sell land, but I asked around a lot on different properties, and people were just not as professional, didn't get back to you. Some of them didn't even have websites, so it was really skeptical. And that's part of why when I visited your website, I started realizing, okay, this is a real thing here, because
Yes.
it just you put out the information that people can study, and I just overcome my skepticism. You have phone numbers, contact info, and you got properties that say, I asked on one, they said, sorry, it's sold. Well, that to me, okay, someone's not just trying to take my money. They're legitimately saying it's sold, and no one takes my money until I sign contracts and things, and it's all done legal. It's all done securely through online. It's all online, super simple, takes 5 minutes to get on her and read through it, hit signature, sign, whatever. It's simple. I loved how it was all secured through third-party stuff for payments. It's not like they just ask for your card number and run it all the time.
Yeah.
It's a legit thing. They're not going to charge you unless you have an okay to charge it. And it was, I was really comfortable with it all. I've been scammed before, and I can tell you,
Really?
I've learned to look at how
Oh
things
no.
are. So,
Oh, I'm so sorry. What happened with that? I'm curious to know, like what kind of thing?
well, it wasn't anything really huge. I mean, it's just more like online purchase type stuff. Then you have to deal with the bank and getting refunded. It wasn't anything huge, but it was like several $100s for equipment and stuff for business. But it is what it is.
Oh
But
man,
it's
that's
just a
so
pain, because then
frustrating.
you have to get all new cards and set it all up for all your auto pay stuff, and it's just a pain. But
Oh man, what a what a pain. I know we actually, with my wife, she had gotten hacked before, and we ended up locking up her credit, just because we didn't want to have anything else happen. So, we went to Experian and Equitrust and some of those other credit bureaus just to lock her up to make sure no one could take it out. And it's a pain now, because anytime we want to get like new credit in her name, now we got to contact the bureaus, and we all have to be so careful nowadays. And
oh yeah.
I go through it just like anyone else does. It's a pain. Well, I'm curious to know, Ammon, like if someone asked you, hey, who are these guys? Would you do business with them? What would you say to someone?
I'd say, well, the business is Gen Fam Properties. It's a business that is set up to help people achieve their dreams of being able to own land, and at a reasonable rate. And they are, in my opinion, if you could give them a 6 or 7 star out of 5 star, you would. So,
Oh,
I mean, they're quick and responsive. They make everything legal and clean cut, no bull crap, and they just work with anybody. And so, if you're feeling a little hesitant as if you can even qualify for anything, I just say look at the property, decide if it's something you want. Look at the prices. You got your down payment price and your docking fees, of course, and your monthlies, and for how many months, and just budget it out and make sure it's something you think you can do, because it's a big investment and you don't want to lose out on everything. And like I said, they are great people. They're willing to work with you if you talk to them on it. So you probably won't lose out as long as you're talking to them. But again, I don't want to tell you to just go jump in hot water and get yourself into something you can't do and lose all that money. Budget it out, make sure it's something you're going to be able to afford. Find a piece of property in a location you like, for the price you like, and I think you'd be happy with them. If you give them a chance, I think they would be more than they would exceed your expectations. I've never dealt with anybody in business that's been as good as these guys. They're awesome. They're very, like I said, very responsive, very quick. It was just a matter of hours. They had the deed, or not the deed, but the contracts all written up and sent out, and they're just great to work with. Answer any questions. They don't hold anything back. Very honest people, good family people. So
Awesome.
I guess, did that really answer your question?
Yeah,
Sometimes I get
yeah.
off on tangents
No.
and don't think about what I'm supposed to be saying.
No, I think those are all good pieces of advice. And, I really want to comment on what you said about your budget. Is just, I think that's such smart advice. Really take a look. Because we're not in this to take people's money. We want to make sure that you can be committed, to whatever you buy. And if something happens, you just let us know. And so I think that was such a good piece of advice that you had. Really look at your monthly cash flow and make sure that a property can work for you. And I think definitely something to think over, and just reach out to us. We're human, and if we can make something work, we will do it. Well, thank you so much again, Ammon, for being on, sharing your story and who you are, and just really appreciate you being on. Any closing thoughts for us?
I think that pretty much covers it. Like, again, just do your research, check out their website. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's genfamproperties.com.
Yes, sir.
Just look at some of the properties. Look at all the the little tabs below everything that talks about their process, and watch some of these videos. It's just play around, read stuff, and I guarantee any questions you have will be answered on there. And if you don't, then I mean, his number and email is plastered all over. So talk to David if you have any concerns, and he can answer those, or he can direct you to one of his other employees, I guess is be the word for it. Someone else that's helping him. They're all great. They're all very very upfront, honest. Just do your research and go from there. And I'm always happy to answer or help in any way. If you have any questions or just want some reconfirmation, you can email me at oakleyservices12@gmail.com, and just ask any questions if you want any further testimonials. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what about your YouTube channel that you're creating? Where can people find that?
So as of right now, I've only got one little video out. I'm working on some others. It just takes time to edit them up. But you just go to YouTube and you search for Ammon the Handyman. It's an educational video for kids. Teaches them how to do some things. Try to make it fun for them, but educational. And like I say, it's just, I've only got one video out right now, working on others, but it's called Ammon the Handyman. Ammon is how you spell my name. And so I hope that takes off and does well, and I can be able to teach kids something in life.
Well, let's definitely let us know, but we'd love to check in on you and share it with the whole community here. So just let us know, and we'd be happy to share that for you, sir.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Ammon. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And my friends, this wraps up another episode of Land Stories Live. If you have any questions, just like he said, check out our website, genfamproperties.com. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good one. Bye-bye.